seats are dressed in red, for all the living and the dead. And dust motes dance in golden light, a prelude to the coming night. They call me patron, call me friend, the man on whom the odds depend. They see the silk, they see the grace, they never see my other face. This opera house is gilded cage, this opera house is gilded cage, it's both my prison and my stage. I trade in beauty, trade in sound on this most sacred bloody ground. Every aria, every note is a promise that I wrote in steel and shadow long ago. The city changes, wears a mask, a new and love, forgiving task is set before me, stark and clear. The age of monsters is now here. This is the overture in black. There's no turning back. The curtain rises slow and deep on all the secrets that I keep. The overture in black, a silent vow. The war begins right here, right now. They bring their flags, they bring their guns. My army's made of violins, and every singer has a blade. He walks among us slick and proud. He speaks his poison to the crowd. A man in uniform, a snake, who wants my beautiful world to break. He sees the stage not for its art, but as a way to tear apart the city's soul, the city's heart. A brand new brutal place to start. He doesn't want my money or my trade, the deals my ancestors have made. He wants my legacy, my name, to fuel his own pathetic flame. He thinks I'm soft, a man of song. He could not be more fucking wrong. He thinks the music makes me weak, the silent language that I speak is older than his new regime, a dark and operatic dream. This is the overture in black, the promise there's no turning back. The curtain rises slow and deep on all the secrets that I keep. The overture in black, a silent vow. The war begins right here, right now. They bring their flags, they bring their guns. My army's made of violins, and every singer has a blade. The conductor lifts his white baton. The final piece is dead and gone. The story's old, the music's new, a tragic tale for me and you. He wants a war of iron might. I'll give him one, but in the pale stage light. He thinks he's here to rule the day. He's just a player in my play. The overture begins to fade. Yeah. The first scene of the last crusade. Let the opera begin. The house is packed, the lights are low, the start of a magnificent show. He sits up in the owner's box, ignoring all the ticking clocks. My honored guest, my newest foe, who doesn't know what he can know. He thinks he's safe among the elite, in his velvet cushion gilded seat. The soprano sang, her voice so clear, it banishes all doubt and fear. But in a wine, a tincture sleep, a secret that the cellar keeps. Not death, but something far more slow to make it certain senses go. A subtle poison for the ear, the start of all he has to fear. He'll wake tomorrow feeling strange, a slow and imperceptible change. The world will sound a little wrong at the ending of a final song. This is the poison deep, soft and deep, sung while the sleeping city sleeps. A note that lingers in the brain, a symphony of coming pain. The poison area, sweet and long, the first note in a funeral song. It isn't fast, it isn't loud, but it will separate him from the crowd and leave him terribly alone. The poison's not in what she drinks, but in the very way he thinks. A gentle hallucinogen that works on proud and powerful men. It amplifies the doubt within, the place where all the fears begin. He'll start to hear a whisper's hiss, a serpent in his lover's kiss. He'll see betrayal in a friend, a story that will never end. I'm not attacking him with might, but turning off his inner light. I'll make him tear his world apart by playing on his paranoia. This is the poison leaf, soft and deep, sung while the sleeping city sleeps. A note that lingers in the brain, a symphony of coming pain. The poison area, sweet and long, the first note in a funeral song. It isn't fast, it isn't loud, but it will separate him from the crowd and leave him terribly alone. He thinks his mind is a fortress wall, but every fortress has to fall. You don't break down the gates with stone, you find a seed that can be sown. A single seed of pure mistrust that turns a diamond into dust. He thinks he's hearing phantom sounds, he's hearing his own hunting hounds. The aria's done, the crowd all cheers, the music that will feed his fears for years, for years. ancient cypress trees line the boulevards at night. He doesn't look or feel quite right. He misses meetings, cancels plans. He doesn't trust his own two hands. He sees a shadow in the halls. He answers to unspoken calls. He's telling them his phone is tapped, that all his best laid plans are trapped. His own regime, and they start to doubt. They try to work the problem out. Is he a madman or a seer? The line is getting far from clear. I am the author of his dread, the voice that's speaking in his head. He's hunting for a traitor's name he doesn't know. I rigged the game. There's a phantom at the opera now, who's taking a most silent vow. He pulls the strings, he sets the stage, and writes on every single page. A phantom at the opera here, who feeds upon a tyrant's fear. He doesn't live in cellars deep, but in the promises you cannot keep, and the secrets that you I use a stage, a grand design, a subtle and a secret sign, a backdrop painted with an eye that watches from a bloody sky. A chorus dressed in black like spies who whisper out his favorite lies. He sits there in the crowd and sees his own corrupted prophecies. He thinks the opera is a code, a heavy and a secret load. He thinks the artists are my men. He doesn't know just how or when I turned his world into a play and scripted his own slow decay. There's a phantom at the opera now, who's taking a most silent bow. He pulls the strings, he sets the stage, and writes on every single page. A phantom at the opera here, who feeds upon a tyrant's fear. He doesn't live in cellars deep, but in the promises you cannot keep, and the secrets that you sell. I make him the star of his own show, the tragic hero, don't you know? The man who's haunted by the state, a victim of a cruel fate. He is the author of his pain. The hero's lost, the villain's gain. I am the phantom, he's the man, the victim of my perfect plan. The phantom waits, the show goes on until the last of his own pawns is gone. Is gone. The second act, the time is right. Beneath a pale and artificial light, is second in command, a brute in a perfectly tailored fascist suit. He watches his own boss with dread. He sees a man has lost his head. He sees the weakness, sees the crack. He knows there is no turning back. He wants the power, wants a throne to make his brutal world his own. He comes to me, a secret guest, to put my loyalty to the test. He thinks I serve the highest bid for all the dirty work I did. He offers me a partnership with a cold and calculating lip. He'll kill the madman, take his place, and leave behind no single trace. In the aria that I wrote, my lead tenor, a man of might, who lives for one last glorious night. He owed me everything he is, his fame and all his victories. He has a past, a hidden shame that could destroy his precious name. The brute I'm meeting is the one whose dirty work was never done, who hurt my tenor long ago, a secret only I could know. So I arrange a meeting place, a final terrible embrace, behind the stage where no one sees, among the painted canvas trees. This is the tenor's blade, a different voice, the making of a deadly choice. When power sings a brand new song for those who've been in second all along. The tenor's blade, a promise made, the price for every soul betrayed. He thinks I'm his new secret friend, on whom his future will depend. He doesn't know, he's just a note in the aria that I wrote. The tenor doesn't sing tonight. He finds a different dark delight, a private concert just for one, before the final race is run. A rival falls, a debt is paid, a beautiful and bloody serenade. Two problems solved with one design. His vengeance is completely mine. The blade is clean, the tenor sings, the joy of perfect vengeance brings, the stage is swept. The house that's right, golden gleam, the waking from a fever dream. The patron says they pour the wine, a perfect eagle struck the line between the fantasy and truth, the bitter anger of our youth. I stand alone upon the roof, living in the final proof. The city sprawls beneath my feet. a bittersweet and cold defeat. I'm winning, yes, the plan is sound on this forbidden holy ground. But every move I have to make for my own family's bloody sake, it chips away a piece of me for all the world to never see. This is the intermission in smoke, the final bitter whisper joke. You fight the monsters, play the game, and you and they become the same. An intermission in smoke, a quiet dread with the voices in my head. Am I the hero or the beast, the greatest and the very least? The line is blurred, it disappears. Came here for the love of art, to play a clean, noble part, to build a shelter from the storm, a place to keep the music warm. But now the music is my blade, the most effective co-crusade. I use the beauty I adore to settle a much darker score. I've turned my temple to a tomb, a gilded and a lonely room, where every note is a new lie, a perfect way for things to die. I'm saving it by killing it, just bit by off a little bit. This is the intermission in smoke, the final bitter whisper joke. You fight the monsters, play the game, and you and they become the same. An intermission in smoke, a quiet dread with all the voices in my head. Am I the hero or the beast, the greatest and the very least? The line is blurred, it disappears. The warning bell begins to chime, the end of my own stolen time. I have to go back to my seat and orchestrate my own deceit. I am the patron and the snake, for goodness and for pity's sake. I wish that I could walk away and live to fight another day, but the show must go. The intermission ends, the darkness falls. The final elected calls. There is a man who writes for press. He judges failure and success. His quills are sharp and poison dark. He tears the city soul apart. He says my rival serves the state. He writes the gospel of the hate. He called my opera decadent, a weak and a corrupt event. He called my patrons bourgeoisie, the worst kind of complicity. He wants to shut my theater down, to run my name right out of town. He thinks his word off weakness, not his grief, a much more fundamental need. He wants to be a playwright, see, a failed and bitter wannabe. He has a script, a tragic play. He keeps it locked and hidden away, a masterpiece, or so he thinks, that hovers on the very brink of genius. So I make a deal, I make a secret dream feel real. I tell him I will stage his show, the only way the world will know his talent hidden for so long. How could a choice like this be wrong? But the critics will can ride both ways through all these dark and desperate days. A single word can build or burn the final lesson he will learn. The critics quill, a hired gun, the loneliest of wars is won, not on the stage, but on the page. In this new and unforgiving age, we stages play the opening night beneath the pale and buzzing light, and it is awful, truly bad, the saddest thing I've ever had to witness. And the crowd, they know the end of his pathetic show. I didn't have to write a thing, I just let his own failure sing. He's not a threat now, he's a joke. The final bitter word is spoke. The critic's dead, the writer's born, and just as equally forlorn, his quill is broken. When the show is done, crowd is gone, and loneliness will see the dawn. They leave a single bulb to burn for the ghosts who wait for their return. They counted the groves, new, cold, and dirt, as ever known the empty. I stand stand alone upon the stage and turn another bitter page. The war is turning, I can feel the wound that's starting to congeal. But every ghost I put to rest just puts another to the test. The ghosts of who I used to be are all that's left to comfort me. And the ghost light shines on this sea. It illuminates my odyssey. It doesn't judge, it doesn't care. It just reminds me that I'm there. The ghost light is my one true friend. The light that's waiting at the end. It burns for phantoms and for me. The lonelier the tragedy. My father's ghost is sitting there in his old and customary chair. He doesn't speak, he doesn't move. He has no lesson left to prove. He just watches me with weary eyes. He sees right through my best disguise. He was a brawler, fought with steel. He knew exactly what was real. This war of whispers, war of art, will tear his simple world apart. He sees a son he doesn't know, who reaps what he would never sow. A stranger standing in his place, with a different kind of saving grace. And the ghost light shines on an empty sea. It illuminates my own deceit. It doesn't judge, it doesn't care. It just reminds me that I'm there. The ghost light is my one true friend. The light that's waiting at the end. It burns for phantoms and for me. The loneliest of tragedies. The ghost of every note I've played. The ghost of every deal I've made. The ghost of every life I've been. The man I am, the man I was meant to be. They're all here in the dark, a single solitary spark. The light is not for them, you see. The light they leave is burning for me. Ghost light hum, theater sleep. The promise that the darkness keep. My rival cornered, he's alone upon his cold and crumbling throne. His men are dead or they have fled from the voices in his paranoid head. His allies in the state have turned for all the lessons they have learned. He is a liability for all the world to finally see. He has one final card to play to see the dawning of the day. He'll burn you out to the ground, the sad and solitary sound of failure, a final unforgiving fate. If he can't have it, no one can. The ending of a broken man. He thinks the fire will make him clean, the final purifying scene. He doesn't know I waited for this, the final serpent's deadly. This is the final act, the curtain call, the moment that he loses all. This is the trap I set so long ago, the only way I'll ever know. If he is truly what I think, it brings him to the very brink. The final act of fire bride will be his last and only light. I wait for him inside the hall, an answer to his final call. He comes with torches, gasoline, the most pathetic final scene. But the building's not as empty as he thinks. It hovers on the very brink. My people wait in every wing, the final chorus that they'll sing, not with their voices but with steel, the only truth they'll ever feel. I didn't want this blood and fire upon this sacred funeral pyre, but he has left no other choice. He silenced every other voice. This is the final act, the curtain call, the moment that he loses all. This is the trap I set so long ago, the only way I'll ever know. If he is truly what I think, it brings him to the very brink. The final act of fire bride will be his last and only light. You wanted a war of steel, I say, in the most unimaginative way. So here it is, your final stage, the turning of a bloody page. You could have had the world you see, but you made an enemy of me. And my world has a higher price. He won't be making that mistake twice. The final act, the final blow. The end of his pathetic show. Bravo! The aftermath is still and cold, a story that will not be told. The papers say a fire broke out, a final unforgiving doubt was cast upon his sanity, a footnote for humanity. They praise my men for saving lives, for playing their heroic part. The city breathes a sigh of peace, a brand new longing, hopeful lease, and I am left with that. becoming dark decay. My stage hand stacked the empty graves among the cold and dying gates. The opera house is safe and sound on this most hallowed haunted ground, and I am left to count the cost of everything I've won and lost. I save the beauty, save the grace, but I become this time and place, a man of shadows, man of lies, with old and unforgiving eyes. I fought the dragon, won the fight, and I've become the endless night. This is a crescendo of silence after the symphony of violence. The loudest note is the one you don't hear, the disappearance of all fear. A crescendo of silence, deep and vast, the shadow that is built to last. The war is won, the monster's dead, but the silence in my weary head is the most deafening of all the sounds. I stand alone in the main hall and wait for the next curtain call, but there are no more plays to see. The only actor left is me, and the audience is all just ghosts. My silent and my dreadful host. The show is over, but I'm still here. The silence grows, the silence keeps the promise that the darkness weeps forever. The city heals, the turning of 1,000 wheels. The fascists fall, the world is new, a different and a brighter hue. And I'm old, my hair is gray. I watch the children as they play outside the opera house I own, a quiet and respected throne. They call me maestro with a smile. They've long forgotten all the guile and blood and fear, the sacrifice, the awful and the heavy price. My history's a faded script from which the darkest parts are real. I am a legend, I'm a saint, pain. They call me my soul, a man of art who played a brave and noble part. They see the statue, not the man, the founder of a brand new clan. They call me my soul, and they bow. They don't remember how this peace was won. Remember the applause. can feel the ticking clock. I see a young boy in the crowd who's laughing just a bit too loud. He has the fire in his eye. He's full of hope and full of life. He sees the world as his own state, to turn a bright and shining page. And in his face I see it all, the pride that comes before the fall, the hunger and the burning need, the harvest of a poison seed. The cycle starts all over anew. There's nothing I can say or do. The opera's old, the play's the same, you'll just give it a different name. They call me a maestro, a man of art, who played a brave and noble part. They see the statue, not the man, the founder of a brand new clan. They call me El Maestro, and they bow. They don't remember how this peace was won, this grace was earned, the lessons that were never learned. They just remember the applause. I am the hero of the tale, the one who was destined not to fail. I am the phantom and the king, the reason that the angels sing. It's a beautiful and perfect lie, and I will wear it till I die. It's the greatest role I've ever played, the final perfect serenade. El Maestro now, the curtain falls, the silence in these hollow walls knows the truth. It always has. It always has. Calculation brand new score, but I have heard it all before. The tragic hero, proud and tall, who stands to gain and lose it all. I see myself in his damn pride, the darkness that he keeps inside. This opera's not for kings of a war, a story that is brave and bold. It's a requiem, a mass for them, the broken, lost and condemned, the ones who sit here in the dark, who bear a silent hidden mark. My friends, my rivals and my ghosts, the most unwelcome silent host. The music swirls, a wave of grief, for the honorable and the thief, for every soul who played a part inside this city's broken heart. This is a requiem for the living, for the taking and the unforgiven, for the ones who won but lost their way at the closing of a brutal day. A requiem, sad and deep, for all the promises we couldn't keep. We sit in silence in our chairs and say our last and lonely prayers, while the music watches us tenor, old and gray, who dreams about a different day. The critic sits alone and writes through all the long and empty nights. The woman who I loved is here, with a man who doesn't know her fear. We are the survivors of the war, don't know what we're living for. We wear our scars like fine new suits, the bitter and the twisted fruits of a victory that cost too much. The loss of a definitive touch of grace or hope or innocence, it doesn't make a bit of sense. This is a requiem for the living, for the taking and the unforgiven, for the ones who won but lost their way at the closing of a brutal day. A requiem for the sad and deep, for all the promises we couldn't keep. We sit in silence in our chairs and say our last and lonely prayers while the music washes us away. The hero on the stage can die, an earnest sentimental sigh. He finds his peace in his last breath, a beautiful and noble death. But we the living must remain and learn to live with all the pain, to walk the streets to see the ghosts of all the things we love the most. That is the curse the real damn calls the requiem ends. The silence falls, the final of the curtain calls it. For the living, for the living, oh. A young girl with a violin, whose story's only just to begin. She plays with fire, plays with soul. She makes my broken spirit whole. If only for a little while I see my father in us. Her instrument is old and cracked, her family's honor has been set. Whoa. Ain't a broken things, the sad and secret songbird sings to me in rooms of smoke and dread. I give my counsel to the dead and to the living. I'm the priest of the greatest and the very least. The patience ain't a broken thing. I'm in your tired and broken wings, but the price is that you'll owe your flight to me. I don't use whispers, don't use fear. The path ahead is crystal clear. I make a call, I pull a string. a simple and a quiet thing. I find the man who did her wrong, who thought that he was far too strong. I don't destroy him, don't erase. I put him in his proper place. A gilded cage of quiet hell, a story that he'll never tell. I give her back her family's name. I reignite a tiny flame. This is the power I now wield, the creator of the sword and shield. I am the patron saint of broken things, the sad and secret songbird shield. I am the patron saint of broken things, the sad and secret songbird sings. To me in rooms of smoke and dread, I give my counsel to the dead and to the living. I'm the priest of the greatest and the very least, the patron saint of broken things. I'll mend your tired and broken wings, but the price is that you lower your flight to me. Is this my penance, my one good deed, the planting of a better seed? Or is it just a different game, spoken with a prettier name? I save her soul, but in the end, she one more, I said one more friend that I can use, that I control. The highest and the final toll. I didn't save her, I just bought her. The city names a wing for me, a monument for all to see, the billowing wing of art and grace, a permanent public space. The politicians give us speed with all the truths they'll never teach. They call me pillar, call me friend, on whom the city can depend. My portrait hangs upon the wall, for the great and for the small, to gaze upon with awe and pride. They never see the man inside, the phantom, the killer, and the ghost, the one that I admire the most, the one that I abhor the most. Yeah, they built a statue of my name and polished it to hide the shame. They've curated a perfect path, a lie that's surely built to last. This is a beautiful lie, the kind you tell yourself I play the part for a long while. I speak of culture, speak of art, of playing a much better part in the city's future, bright and bold, the greatest story ever sold. I am the wolf who guards the sheep while all the other shepherds sleep. I am the poison and the cure, the only thing that's truly pure. In this deception, this design, this legacy is truly mine. A masterpiece of no retreat, a gorgeous and a grand deceit. This is a beautiful lie, the kind you tell yourself at night to make the darkness feel a little bright. A beautiful lie told in stone for the seas of violence I have sown. They celebrate the man I played, the perfect calm crusade I wage against the city's sin. They don't know where I truly begin and where the monster has to end. If you tell a lie that's big enough and your delivery is rough and beautiful and full of grace, they'll carve it on the city's face. And after time you start to see that even you can start to be a true believer in the end. Your greatest and your only friend is the lie. The lie is told, the story said, the only truth is to forget. And I'm trying. For the final show, the last place that I'll ever go. I'm old now and my hands are weak, I barely have the strength to speak. I sit up in my velvet chair, I breathe the cool and heavy air, watch the play, the final scene of the tragic hero and his queen. He dies for honor, dies for love, a message from the gods above. The crowd all weeps, a silent wave for the hero in his noble grave. But I just watch the curtain fall, and I feel nothing, nothing at all. Seen too many endings now, the broken promise and the vow. There is no glory in the end, not for a rival or a friend. This is the encore, the final sound on this unforgiving hollow ground. You play your part, you take a bow. The only thing that's real is now the encore, and the crowd all cheers for all the wasted bloody years. They want one more song, one more taste of all the beauty and the waste. But the singer's voice is gone, you see. speaking is the conductor of the show. She makes the music ebb and flow. She looks at me and gives a nod, a secret, unforgiving God. She knows the truth, she knows my name, the master of this brutal game. She is my air, my final piece, my beautiful and damn release. She'll run this world with grace and might. She knows the darkness and the light. She is the woman I could be if I had ever been born free. This is the encore, the final sound on this unforgiving, hollow ground. You play your part, you take a bow. The only thing that's real is now the encore, and the crowd all cheers for all the wasted, bloody years. They want one more song, one more taste of all the beauty and the waste. But the singer's voice is gone, you see. I close my eyes, the music fades. A lifetime of these masquerades. I didn't die, your hero's dead. I'm wasting my last precious breath in a velvet chair with no acclaim, just a whisper of my own damn name. Was it a tragedy, a farce, this inheritance of silent scar? I do not know, and in the end, it doesn't matter, my old friend. The encore's over. Is silence, is silence. The patrons leave the hall is bare, just the cold and empty air. The ghost light burns upon the stage, the final end, the empty bed. I do not move, I do not speak. I'm far too old, I'm far too weak. My tired drum has finally quietly succumbed. This is my theater, this is my tomb, my gilded and my final room, a fitting in a quiet grace in this beautiful and I wasn't killed by a gun or knife, but by a long and complicated life. The maestro's final work is done, the last great bit of ring won. And doesn't matter now, he's taking his final bow. silent and the final film fade. The janitor will find me here with nothing left to hope or fear. A well-dressed man who's fallen asleep, a promise that he couldn't keep. To his own self, to his own art, he played a brilliant broken part. They'll write my name in books of stone, the greatest patron ever known. They will not know the wars I fought, the brutal lessons that I taught. They will not know the things I've seen, the man I could have truly been. My life was just a grand design, and none of it was ever truly mine. And the curtain falls, a whisper of rebellion. The final secret has been kept. The curtain falls, the story is told of a man who bought and then was sold. The curtain falls on all the lies beneath the cold and watchful eyes of all the ghosts who sit and wait, a silent and a final fate. The final silence is so deep, the only promise I will keep. The overture began in black, there is no final turning back. The play is done, the actor's gone, just the quiet coming of the dawn. Upon an empty, silent stage, the final turning of the page. The curtain falls, the ghost light on, the silence is what I've become.